So I was at the NAMM show with my friend Hadrian Farrow, a bass player, great bass player, and he endorses Mark Bass equipment. And he said, "Hey man, you want to go over to the Mark Bass booth and do some playing with me? Because he's like kind of a NAMM darling. People just wherever he goes, people want to go hear him play. Play bass and." So he was scheduled to go over there and play, and I said, "Sure, it sounds like fun." So we went over there, and I didn't even realize at the time that they made guitar amps. I only knew that they made bass amps. So I got there, and they said, "Oh no, we have a whole new line of guitar amps and stuff, and here, plug into this one and check it out and see what you think, And so I plugged it in, and like as soon as I plugged it in, I went, "Oh man, this is amazing! It sounds great, And so then we struck up a conversation about it, and like within I guess the next month or something, I ended up endorsing the amp. That's the amp. It's the DB Mark 212 40 watt combo, and it's an amazingly versatile amp. It does. It does the crunch thing really well, but it also does a clean thing really well. It's one of the things that is popular about Mark gear is that it's light. But even though I know that's a big selling point for the amp, it's not for me something that's like super important. Although it's becoming more important on my back and this and that. But really, what's more important is the way it sounds and. I am amazed that it is that light. The thing's only 35 pounds, but it's a tube amp, and I mean a tube like preamp and power amp, and they've got a cool system in it where you can actually dial down the actual wattage of the amplifier so that it becomes an even smaller amp. So, like for instance, if you're playing in a situation where you can't play very loud, but you want the amp to to do something, it'll do it. It's pretty cool. Like you just dial down this knob here, the power control knob, and then go to the for instance the drive channel, and so I'll just take it all the way. And so, I'll just take like that sound for me is something that you really can't achieve at that volume unless you have a power amp that's not putting out a lot of wattage, And so a lot of people try to achieve that sound with like using a master volume or using the preamp, to like distorting the preamp, and it doesn't sound the same. It doesn't sound natural. And so that's what's cool. That's one of the real cool things about this amp. There's a number of really great things in it. There's you can get a few dB boost with a little solo switch on the there's a channel switcher that I don't have it with me, but you can switch the channels. Or you could just hit the solo switch, and so if you're playing like in the clean channel, you can get like a little bit more volume with it clean, which is a really cool thing, so that you don't have to sort of walk back to the amp and change knobs. I've been using this amp exclusively for the last year now, maybe over a year, and I love it. I've been using it in the studio. Speaking about the studio, I've used it pretty much exclusively on the new record that's coming out. It's called Unfinished Business, and hopefully in your stores soon. But I love the amp. I love the company. They really take care of their artists, and they really care about their gear, and that's it. Thanks.
He